How you doing, folks? This is Master Maverick here, and I would like to welcome you to another Mavericks unboxing and review. So, folks, I'm super excited today because I finally received my Pioneer AVIC 6200 NEX head unit for my new double DIN vehicle. I wanted the Pioneer because, one, I have a double DIN now, and I thought the single DIN just wasn't going to cut it. And I wanted the features of having HD radio, which was not built into the Jensen. Unfortunately, had it been built into the Jensen, I probably would have went with the Jensen double DIN version. So here it is, guys. And yes, this is the 2016 model. And yes, they do have the 2017 model. But as far as I know, all the features, they all seem to be the same. So I really couldn't see justifying spending the extra amount of money. But, you know, this has got the Apple CarPlay. Really, all I care about is the HD radio, the Sirius XM, the navigation, and Pandora. So I'm sure that it's probably going to have a lot of really neat features that I'm probably just going to be in love with. But let's just go ahead and begin the unboxing here. So to start, we got our cables. Just to hook up the steering wheel controls, I believe. Got some other stuff here. I'll see what that's for. Looks like the GPS antenna. USB cable. Remote control. Microphone. Your screws. Everything you'd expect to find. And of course something showing the model and serial. And of course your standard materials about the warranty and probably just a lot of information about the radio that I should probably read, but I've done this quite a few times already. I'll probably skim through them. And an operational manual. So they actually took all this stuff and put it on a CD too. So that's all very neat. But like that, it's just moving styrofoam. Let's go ahead and try to unwrap this. There it is, folks. Okay, folks, just giving you a quick view of the rear of this thing. You got your audio connections, you got your video connections, your antenna, your Maestro, there's your antenna, you got an auxiliary port, and you even got HDMI and 2 USB. So there you have it. Anyway, folks, just hang tight. I'm going to set this up and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, folks, so I went ahead and completed the installation of this unit. Actually, I completed it a little while ago, but I wanted to be able to give this unit the proper assessment. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. The installation went pretty smooth. As you can see there, that's my Nissan splash screen. This thing has HD radio, but the HD radio, at least on the HD radio stations, they seem to cut out when I'm driving, so I'm really not sure if that made this unit worth the extra cost. Anyway, as you can see here, it's got this really nice interface, and you know, you can change the themes on this thing. So I went ahead with the blue theme and what you see here. I also like that now you can see the album art even when you're listening to the radio, so it's not just for your MP3s as such. Now, maybe this has been around for a while, but this is the first time I've seen it, so I thought that was pretty neat. And, you know, you got your button for your sources right here, so you're easily able to change sources. I prefer to do it using the steering wheel controls. I was actually able to connect the steering wheel controls. I got the Maestro kit. Now, a little tip: when you have to program it, you have to program it using your computer. So I actually had to use Chrome because for some reason it didn't work with Internet Explorer. But I used an emulator for Internet Explorer, and this is if you're using like Windows 10. This is what I had to do. So just give me a little heads up for those of you who buy the Maestro. Okay, moving on. This thing does have USB audio. I was able to hook up the vehicle's USB audio, but I ended up having to get just a regular mini USB to standard USB connector or adapter, and that worked for me. So for you folks with these newer Nissan vehicles, if yours uses that, those things do exist. You can get them, you can plug it in, and it'll work. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and switch this out to go to video. I really do like what they've done here, where more video formats are supported, so like I prepared a sample for you, and this is an MP4, so you can see it works, and it works pretty good. For me, it works even while driving because I was able to do the brake bypass. Now, I did this without even needing to use any special switch or grounding the brake cable or doing anything like that. It's very easy, with these Next units. You just have to look that up. I'm not going through that. Moving on. So as you can see, folks, just like on my previous units, I do have Pandora Internet Radio. The big difference here is that now with your Pandora, you have presets, which we did not have before. So I do like that. That's a very cool feature. What I do not like is that the same key that you use to or control on the steering wheel that you use to switch radio stations on both HD radio as well as Sirius XM, well, you cannot just switch your presets. Okay, instead that button just fast forwards. But there it goes. Anyway, so there you have it. That's probably the only thing I don't like about using the Pandora with my steering controls. I don't want to fast forward. I just want to change stations or my presets. Moving on. Okay, so here I just switched to Bluetooth, and of course Pandora is still playing. I'm not going to go too much into the Bluetooth other than tell you that you can make phone calls, and you do get to see your contacts on here, or you can play anything else that's just Bluetooth audio. So that works. Very happy about that. I tried to also connect the factory microphone, but that didn't work out. I tried to do it, and I guess it must be a different kind of microphone. But anyway, I ended up using the microphone that actually comes with this unit, and I put it in a nice hidden space, so that worked out okay. I just wish I didn't have to add any other accessories to it. Moving on. Here's our Sirius XM. That works nicely. I was able to connect the vehicle's Sirius XM antenna just by removing the clip that's on the plug, which makes it very proprietary, and just plugging it directly in the tuner. But I can tell you one thing, those connectors are very delicate, so do be careful, especially when you're putting the unit back in your dash. Okay, I ended up just running have the antenna that came with the tuner. Okay, just to give you an idea of what happened. Moving on, that all works. Very happy about it. Okay, that's the auxiliary. So I was able to connect the auxiliary audio. The auxiliary audio, I just needed to make my own custom connector, and I got a pin out for this vehicle. Just using the harness, I made my own pins, just stuck them right in the sockets. That all worked out. So I got the auxiliary audio. This unit also has auxiliary video. I can't imagine anyone using auxiliary video as well anyway. Moving on. Just so you can see, I am able to play DVDs. No issues with that. I like to have music DVDs, for like other people when driving. Just remember, folks, safety first. That all works. And they actually load much faster than they did on the Jensen. So that's one thing I'll say the Pioneer seems to be much better for. Okay, folks, I'm going to show you the navigation. The navigation worked pretty much like the Jensen. In fact, I believe they use the same maps. The difference is that I believe this comes with lifetime maps and lifetime of traffic. So that's all pretty cool. Once you link it up with your phone and it's able to redirect you. I mean, I had it happen already. So it worked out really well. The only thing I will tell you is that the volume for the radio is different than the volume for the GPS. So there's no master volume for it. So you'll have to adjust the volume by hitting the menu there, going into your settings, and going to sound, and right here under voice, you'll want to adjust the volume there, because if you're driving and, like, let's say for example you have the audio really low, well, it's gonna scare the crap out of you because the GPS will be really loud. So you'll definitely want to adjust the GPS audio. Just giving you a heads up. Other than that, it's pretty cool. Now going back here, folks, as you can see here, it's also got the app radio. With this unit, it was still lacking for Android. It does have the app radio for Android, but only if you do HDMI. So I did that, and it does the screen mirroring. That's okay, especially if maybe you're sitting waiting for somebody, or you got people with you and you want to do the Netflix. You should be able to do all that too. But to be honest, that's very minor, because I didn't really get the unit because I wanted to do all that. I just really needed the GPS and just all kinds of audio options. Everything else just came secondary. I'm very pleased, with this unit. It did come with a lot of the same features as my previous units came with, including like the EQ and having, everything fully customizable. See, you got all your presets right there, depending on whether you have Android or an iPhone or whatever you have. There is some kind of compatibility, but I just wish that it was more compatible. For my purposes, it's good for me. And the audio, I mean, the audio is pretty good. It's good enough for me. I don't need nothing very heavy or anything like that. This unit, by the way, if you're interested in this unit, there's a mail-in rebate, going on right now for this unit, as well as a couple of other ones that Pioneer has. But I can tell you, for this one, I think it's like $100. So, you can get the $100 mail-in rebate. Not only that, my good friends over at Sonic Electronics, they actually hooked me up with a coupon, so you can get 5% off on this unit. I'm gonna include that coupon right in the description. So you got the $100 mail-in rebate, and you get the 5% off. And that's pretty much it, folks. Features: I love the nav with the lifetime maps and traffic. I love the Sirius XM. Pandora is definitely improved. If they could just make it so that I could switch stations using the steering controls, or if you folks could tell me how to do it, if it can be done, that'd be awesome. HD radio was okay. Like I said, the audio would just cut out on the HD radio stations while driving. Oh, was the backup camera. So as you can see, it's got the backup camera without the guide. I don't know if that's good or bad, but there it is. You got the steering remote I was able to hook up, so I'm very happy that it's compatible with that. Microphone, again, I wish I could have used the factory microphone instead of the one that came with the unit, because it's just a little bit of an eyesore, but I put it in a hidden space so it won't bother me too much. It did come with the remote control. The remote control, I find it to be a little bit busy. The CD DVD, that works perfectly. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy to see full album art on everything. Again, full settings, setting your themes, your EQs. That was all wonderful. What I didn't like, again, no Android Auto, no voice command. Okay, I had voice command on the stock head unit, which was pretty neat. When I pressed the button for voice command on the steering wheel, and I'd be able to send text messages or contact people and do stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. I guess you could also do it through, in my case I have an Android, so you could do it through OK Google. And OK Google, it works, but you only get to hear it really when you're on Bluetooth. So that's the only time, it really works. I mean, your phone will always hear it, as far as I can tell, but you won't be able to hear anything from the phone until you're on Bluetooth. I love that it supports more video formats, HD radio stations. Don't stay on like regular radio stations, and no master audio from the GPS. Those are, I consider those all to be pretty minor. Again, this thing has everything I needed it to have, and that's pretty much it. Folks, I'm going to score this unit a 9 out of 10. It's great, That's pretty much it, folks. This was my unboxing and review of the Pioneer AVIC 6200 Next 2-DIN head unit. Please click that like button if this video helped you out, and click subscribe. Again, I'll have a link and coupon from Sonic Electronics. Again, this is Maverick, over and out. How you doing, folks? This is Master Maverick here, and I would like to welcome you to another Mavericks unboxing and review. So, folks, I'm super excited today because I finally received my Pioneer AVIC 6200 Next head unit for my new double-DIN vehicle. I wanted the Pioneer because, one, I have a double-DIN now, and I thought the single DIN just wasn't going to cut it. And I wanted the features of having HD radio, which was not built into the Jensen. Unfortunately, had it been built into the Jensen, I probably would have went with the Jensen double DIN version. So here it is, guys. And yes, This is the 2016 model, and yes, they do have the 2017 model, but as far as I know, all the features, they all seem to be the same, so I really couldn't see justifying spending the extra amount of money. But you know, this has got the Apple CarPlay. Really, all I care about is the HD radio, the Sirius XM, the navigation, and Pandora. So I'm sure that it's probably going to have a lot of really neat features that I'm probably just going to be in love with. But let's just go ahead and begin the unboxing here. So to start, got our cables.